Thank you, Joel. My full name is Jessica Faranguez Saifi. I'm a Venezuelan and Afghani I'm Venezuelan and Afghani in descent and American by birth. I graduated high school from St. Mary's Academy here in Colorado, and I'm currently studying at Wellesley College, majoring in neuroscience and South Asian studies. To give you a sense of who I am, I'd like to tell you about my name. My name, Jessica, means she of God's grace. Faranguez means she who gives beauty. Saifi means protector or sword. Contrary to Shakespeare's beliefs, by any other name I would not smell as sweet. My Catholic mother thought Jessica would suit me as a first name. My Muslim father bestowed me with Faranguez, a Persian name, and his family treats it as my first name. As you can imagine, coming from two completely different ethnic, cultural, and religious backgrounds, and having two first names would seem difficult to reconcile. It sounds like an extraordinary ethnic combination, but honestly, this is something I continue to define for myself. Growing up in post-9/11 America, I struggled to understand how I related to my Afghan side, and I asked myself the question, which community do I belong to? How do I relate to my conservative Afghan side and my liberal Venezuelan side? The conclusion I came to is that I do not have to choose. I am all of these elements, and my identity is distinctly resonant of a beautifully intricate past and optimistically global future. Today, Faranguez means so much to me. Ultimately, education, cultural awareness, and positive change are my identity. My name is Jessica Faranguez Saifi. Namaste. Mera naam Jessica Faranguez Saifi hai. Hola, mi nombre es Jessica Faranguez Saifi. Bonjour, je m'appelle Jessica Faranguez Saifi. Assalamu alaikum. Nameman Faranguez Saifi. I have always had an interest in other cultures, histories, and languages as a means of understanding how we as a society interact with and affect one another. In high school, I was St. Mary's Academy's Model United Nations Secretary General on the French and Spanish National Honor Societies and part of an interfaith peace project that took me on a peacekeeping mission to Israel. I was also an AP Scholar with distinction and eventually graduated with a 3.98 unweighted GPA. These experiences sparked a passion in me, not only to strive academically, but also to impact the world. I am the first in my family to go to college. Serendipity led me to the South Asian Studies Department at Wellesley. There, I started to understand my own Afghan culture along with the region's public health care system. Being from a family of refugees, I saw firsthand the negative consequences that war had on my family's mental health, which shaped my desire to address and change care and treatment of mental health issues in the region. For me, majoring in neuroscience was a way to understand the science behind mental health. At the same time I was defining this path, I also began reading a book, Mountains Beyond Mountains, about Dr. Paul Farmer's quest to bring life-saving tools of modern medicine to those who need them most. It was a light bulb moment of inspiration. After reading the book, I was inspired to make an active change in global health inequality. So, in my sophomore summer, I chose to study abroad in India with an internship on health and human rights. I also happened to be studying Hindi and Urdu, and I chose this program so I could communicate with the people that I would be helping. I could not have gone without the generous support of Greenhouse Scholars Flex Funding Program. The experience shaped me in ways I wasn't prepared for. My internship took me to a small village, not even on the map, where people of different ethnicities and castes coexist. The people in this village are at the bottom of the social order, based on India's caste system. They face significant socioeconomic discrimination because of their lower caste and have limited educational opportunities and healthcare access. Many of their health afflictions are preventable. After spending time communicating, observing, and researching, I was able to educate the village women about their own health and their children's health, empowering them with knowledge. It was amazing to see how, in just a few months, we were able to make incremental changes to health processes. This is lasting change for them. Fewer sick babies and healthier children and mothers. I also tutored children in English and chemistry. One young man in particular was on the verge of dropping out of college, and he also was a first generation. So I stepped in and helped. I taught him study skills in order to increase his confidence and his grades. These experiences solidified my sense of duty and to the skills I'm learning in order to work on behalf of marginalized populations to positively affect health, education, and opportunity. There were times during this experience that I questioned things about the world. I internalized many of these thoughts, and when I came back to Wellesley, I struggled to work through those feelings. When I heard my peers complain about classes and workload, I reminded myself of the village children's unquenchable thirst for knowledge and the dryness they felt due to their circumstances. When I heard complaints about dining hall food, I thought back to the village, where malnourishment was ever present. How can two different worlds exist on one planet? I reached out to my greenhouse scholar mentor, Julia, and she was immediately there for guidance and support. I'm so grateful to have her in my life, as I sometimes worry about the future because I just haven't had the opportunities in my family and those educational opportunities to really understand a lot of the things that other people have going into college, And throughout my life, there have not been many consistent positive influences, making Julia's constant presence and words of encouragement an immeasurable gift in my life. As I worked through this self-reflection, I became stronger. And I spent this summer in Cambodia with the Clinton Health Access Initiative, where I'm continuing to address and change health access equality. My ability to connect with health professionals through our Greenhouse Scholars Professional Networking Program has also shed light on the options I have for my future. In order to focus on the causes I am most passionate about, I'm considering a master's in public health in addition to a medical degree. With these experiences in the sport I've received from Greenhouse Scholars, I'm optimistic about the future and my ability to change the world. Also, with the support of this community, I can support my own family and community at home too. One of my cousins recently dropped out of college, and I immediately began to talk to him and encourage him to go back. Since then, he returned to school, and it means so much to have the strength and voice to give others courage, just as the courage was given to me by this community and by my mentor, Julia. It is in these ways that we are connected within Greenhouse Scholars. The positive influences in our community beget positivity in other communities. Sometimes that is in a tiny village in India. Sometimes that is in a local high school in Colorado. And sometimes that is right here in each of us. The leverage of that impact, its reach, and its ripple effect is undeniable. It is unstoppable. My name is Jessica Farangues Seifi. I stand before you as a proud Afghan Venezuelan first-generation college student and Greenhouse Scholar.